us join together and sing the hymn number 18 in the gray hymnal, What Wondrous Love. The words will be projected to your left.
Most, if not all of us, have experienced some form of trauma in our lives. All of us have endured painful situations. The ritual we are about to participate in is to provide a time for peace, healing, as we live our lives in this turbulent, topsy-turvy world. Each of you will be invited to participate. And I really emphasize, please know that this is an invitation, not an obligation. We each have our own way to cope with pain, grief, loss, trauma, sadness. Some of us march. Some of us write letters to our government representatives. Some of us choose to be the change we want to seek in the world. We each have our own path. But others of us react to grief, trauma, pain in different ways altogether and seek comfort in ritual and deep reflection. While some of you marched yesterday, today all of us here will be invited to meditate. In this church, in this room, there is enough space for everyone, marchers and meditators, to seek peace together, side by side. Ritual can be experienced very differently from person to person. Some of you may be seeking a connection with other humans, some with the divine or mystery or creation for healing and hope. Some of you may be seeking safety or support, while others are ready to move on through and beyond the pain of the past. Whatever you seek, for whatever reason, you are invited to sink as deeply as you choose into this ritual. I will offer different components: a ritual for grounding, parts of rituals for affirming our interdependence, for healing, hope, reconnection to life. Now I'm going to ask you something else. For this ritual, you need to sit next to someone, because you'll be turning to them briefly for a part of the ritual. So if you would find someone to sit next to so that everybody's paired up in one form or fashion, and for those who are unable to get up and move, will you go to those people who have trouble moving so that they don't have to get up and move? We're all paired up. Everybody got two? Got two? Okay. Yep.
Our song, Ani Ma'amin, is an ancient Hebrew affirmation of faith. The text, which is centuries old, can be interpreted as follows.
I believe in God, in a greater truth, and in things greater than this world, in spite of all that has happened. I believe that the Messiah will come, and he will find me waiting. No matter how long he tarries, no matter how long he delays his coming, I will continue to believe. No matter what the future holds, I believe.
The song has had a rich history in the heart of Israel. It gained its greatest significance, however, during the Holocaust. Thousands of Jews entered the gas chamber singing this very song, proclaiming allegiance to God until their last breath. Eyewitness accounts tell us that the music would decrescendo to silence only as the gas choked the singers.
No matter how long he tarries, he will find me waiting.
Today we sing Ani Ma'amin out of respect for the faith for which so many millions of people died.
Today we sing Ani Ma'amin, knowing that if we join hands and hearts and voices and sing the songs of those who suffer, we will learn that while we may be different, we are all truly beautiful. And if we, the people of the world, value all other people as beautiful, we can prevent such atrocities from happening again in our lifetimes. This is why we sing.
This is what we believe.
We who are Unitarian Universalists not only affirm the inherent worth and dignity of every person, we also affirm the inherent wholeness of every being, despite brokenness. No one is a stranger to pain or to the knowledge that things break or break down. Promises, friendships, sobriety, hope, communication. This breaking happens because our human hearts and our very institutions are frail and imperfect. We make mistakes. Life is messy. Situations beyond our control can impact our minds, bodies, hearts, souls. Brokenness happens. We're all intimately acquainted with brokenness. Then, even as we believe that no matter how fractured we once were, we can make whole people of ourselves. We are whole at our core. Because of the great, unnameable, sometimes inconceivable love in which we live. As UUs, we believe that paying attention to something is an act of love. Witnessing and naming brokenness is how we begin to heal it. Healing begins when we examine what's in pain, wonder how it occurred, and allow it to teach us. In fact, sometimes the brokenness is immense, and the only grasp, the only power we have over that large and complicated pain looming over us is to bear witness, to tell its story, and to seek out companions and helpers who are willing to agree that, yes, there is something breaking or messy in front of us, and we will not leave or even look away until repair has begun. If love begins with attention, repair takes the form of compassion, bearing witness. As we begin, I ask you to have full trust and faith that there is inherent wholeness in every broken situation.
I invite you now into a heart space of healing and hope. You may wonder if you need to do something special to prepare. You do not. Only keep your heart and mind open. We, each of us, are here at the edge of creation, breaking with the small tide over the sand, while the need to do good rolls away. The question of what is right diminishes into insignificance and is borne easily away by tiny tides. Here, where no words are spoken, none are misspoken. We are each part of the broken stubble of the marsh grass that holds on through the wrecking wind and the burning flood. We are each part of the grains that mold themselves around everything, accepting even such a foot as mine, and shaping it until it feels it belongs. Each of us exists somewhere between truth and vision. And what we don't know ceases to matter, because what we do know is that the water feels gentle like a lover's touch, and the sand welcomes our feet. What we have done or failed to do has left no noticeable mark on creation. What each of us has done or doesn't do mostly matters only to ourselves. Now, in this space, somewhere between truth and vision, we are simply here, and grateful to be touched, calmed, and healed by the immense pattern of the universe. And when we die, it will be an honor for our blood to return to the sea and our bones become part of the sand. But today, here in this place, with all of you, I am reassured that I am called back to life for another day. I invite you now into a time of meditation or prayer. Each of us has our own way of entering that space. You might close your eyes, you might sit up straight, put your feet flat, center yourself, and take a deep, slow breath. Bring your attention to your breathing, feeling the air enter and leave your body. Allow whatever thoughts, emotions, sensations you experience to pass through you. Notice the thoughts, emotions, or sensations without need to reject or accept them. They simply exist, just as you exist. Now, without straining or forcing or really even searching, allow to percolate up within you the painful experience, the trauma, the loss that you want to offer up for healing today. Please do not feel you need to do any more than just remember it. Do not relive it. Do not let the pain overwhelm you. You can put it out of your mind as quickly as you choose it. This is just a time for remembering, to ground yourself back into that experience so that you can move through the pain to the healing. And as you choose that experience, I ask you to choose 3 words, up to 3 words, to describe that incident in your life. Words that you feel you can share with one other person. Now take a deep, slow breath and open your eyes.
In a moment, I will ask you to share your words with another person. You are moving into a space of trust and vulnerability, of speaking and listening, of knowing and healing. Be deeply and authentically present for each other. Listen with your heart and open mind. To the person who will be listening first, after you hear your partner sharing their 3 words, please say, "Thank you for taking the risk of sharing your pain with me. I hear and honor your pain. You are not alone now. You are cared for." I have projected them on the wall, so you need not remember those words. Now turn to a person near you, and without talking, choose who will share first. Look into each other's eyes. If you want to touch each other's hand, you may, if both people give their permission. Now, share your 3 words. Remember, listening partner, to say your part after your partner shares their words. Now, switch roles and let the other person share.
We each make meaning of our varied experiences. The painful and the traumatic experiences of our life we often label as bad, void of any constructive meaning. And we use our mental and emotional energy to push those experiences out of our lives, unwilling to offer a place for them within ourselves. Making or creating a new meaning of a painful or traumatic experience is one way to bring the self back into balance, to reconnect with the self, to feel more complete, and perhaps even reconnect us with humanity or mystery or the divine as we understand it, or the spirit of life. I'm going to invite you into that meditative space again to close your eyes and take a deep breath. Turn your attention within and reflect on that painful experience. You might notice as you bring it to mind this time that there is some change in the feelings and thoughts you have about this experience since you shared it with someone else. But whether or not there is change, again, I invite you to distance yourself from that painful experience, to look at it as if you were someone else looking at that experience for a moment. Perhaps think of that experience as if it were playing before you on a movie screen. With less emotion, examine the event. Now, I will offer some words and ask you to consider how you might redefine the meaning of that event in your life. What words offer you a path forward? What words resonate in a positive way the meaning you'd like to be able to make of this event? What words offer you a new way to look at what happened? Where are the possibilities being offered to you? Hold that event in your mind. Keep it in the front of your mind, though do not let it hurt you. Hold it as you hear these words and find the ones that resonate with you. Resilience, empathy, humility, strength, esteem, worth, dignity, success, awareness, insight, independence, clarity, holy, perhaps other words percolate up within you. Words that carry you forward, that help you make meaning of the experience. Hold whatever words touch your heart, that feel like they are offering something to you as you move through this experience. Let the words reshape the old meanings into newer more life-affirming meaning for you. You have begun a journey. Live into this journey as you leave this gathering, as you move through the coming days. And gradually, perhaps without even noticing it, you will live into a new way of being. Transformed.
Please bring your attention back to yourself and take a deep, slow breath. When you came into the sanctuary, the stewards gave you a leaf. Please get that now. If you don't have one, please raise your hand and we will get you one. One in the front. Now, I invite you to take your leaf. Yeah, keep your hands up. I invite you to take your leaf and bring it up to your nose and crush it between your fingers. Breathe in. Let this sharp, sweet smell blow through the bluntedness that your pain may have imposed on your senses. You hold the splendidness of life in your hands. Inwardly grateful for this lovely day, thankful for life. From this moment on, open fully to the smile on a friend's face. Let your mind, body, spirit be awakened for the taste of fresh strawberry ice cream on a hot day, the sea splashing over your feet, a dog's sloppy kiss, the blue sky, a cool breeze, the warm sun. A small leaf is like a sacrament in your hands.
May the scent and the oil of the leaf stay with you and brighten your day. Now please join me in this responsive reading, and you'll read the italics. No matter how weak or frightened we may feel at times, no matter the pain we may sometimes feel, no matter the brokenness in body, mind, or spirit that all of us experience at one time or another, hope resides within each of us and shimmers between all of us. Amen.
Far too often we are forced to confront difficult and challenging times in our lives. When these things happen, all we can do is come together in places like this church to remind ourselves that there is still hope. There is still love. There are still good-hearted people who can look, unblinking, into the storm and continue to believe a calm, bright morning will come. This community is a refuge where we can keep the ember of hope alive when all the world seems intent on dousing it. And then we can use our little light to light a beacon for the rest of the world. Our offerings each week sustain this community so we can share our small embers to light a dark world. Please give generously so that we can all together help spread that light. The stewards will now collect the morning offering.
Our chalice. But let us carry its flame in our hearts, reminding us of our second principle, justice, equity, and most of all, compassion in human relations. I invite you now to rise in body or spirit, and let us sing together hymn number 1015 in the teal hymnal, I Know I Can. Words will be projected to your left. Our world aches for us to join together and bring about healing, to join together and toil for justice, and to nurture a flame of ever-increasing love in our world. This is what we as human beings and as people of faith are called to do. May our words and our lives express this calling. Now I invite you to turn around and greet one another, especially the people you don't know. Let us share the love of this community with one another.